Well, hello and welcome to this online course for investment promotion. My name is Carlos Griffin. I will be your trainer. Let me introduce myself before we get started. I have been a foreign investment and trade consultant for international organizations like the World Bank Group, at their Investment Climate Department, and at the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, where they have an investment promotion section, as well as the International Trade Center and national governments for the past 10 years. I've been delivering advisory services to institutions like the ones I suspect you come from, and as well as a good deal of training, and that's what you're here for today. I congratulate you on taking the step of logging in to join this training course. It's an important step in continuing your education, building your capacity as an investment promoter. And we hope to make it interesting for you and educational. This video that you're watching now is a introduction to an overall course, which consists of about 40 videos, maybe a few more. They're each broken down into 15-minute lessons. If you're watching this, you're probably a staff member at a public institution that's mandated to promote investment. You might be at a state institution in Brazil, or you might be at a municipal level. You might work for an industrial zone. There are many people, as you will learn through the course of your work, and as we will discuss in this course, there are many people in your environment that share goals with you, and so we're going to talk a lot about how you can work together with them to achieve these goals together. So there are 5 overarching themes which will continue to come up throughout the course, and I want to mention those now so you can keep them in mind, and I will continue to point them out as the topics come up, just so that it helps in your absorption. If there are only 5 things that you take away from the whole course, they should be these 5 things. The first is that investment promotion is a public service. Now that is both a challenge and a reward. It's a challenge because your customers, the people that you're going to be dealing with day to day, are from the private sector. So they have a different way of doing things, different business culture, different operating environment than anybody in the public sector does. So there's a bit of a cultural gap there, and so we have to overcome that gap. But it also means that you're in a unique position to serve as a bridge between the public sector and the private sector. And if you learn to walk between those two worlds, you will find that you are very valuable to both, and that your work will be very meaningful. If you work well as an investment promoter, you will see a real impact in the number of jobs in your state, in the wages going up for those jobs, in new sectors that didn't exist before starting to sprout up. And it's very satisfying. So again, congratulations on choosing this line of work. I don't know if you did it deliberately or if you just kind of found yourself here. But either way, I hope that you'll find that it's very worthwhile. The second theme, which will keep coming up throughout this course, is the theme of salesmanship. And this is a bit related to the point I just made. Since you are working with the private sector and you are working with companies that have a business business plan to follow, they have a bottom line they need to meet, they need to be profitable, they are going to select a location to invest in based on those considerations. And you need to be able to speak to them in those terms to convince them that your place is the best place to go considering their needs. And so that takes a good deal of salesmanship. We'll talk about what skills are needed and how you can be a good salesperson, but we need to think about that at every stage. So that's the second overarching theme. So the third overarching theme is stakeholder mobilization. I made reference earlier to the idea that there are other institutions in your jurisdiction, also in jurisdictions above you or below you, that have a similar mandate. That's to go out and attract investment. Some of these are public institutions. It might be the National Investment Promotion Agency, Apex Brazil. It might be a municipality that has a business development unit. It might be an industrial zone that has to attract tenants from which it collects rent. It might be a private sector association, a trade association, a chamber of commerce that is trying to stimulate business. And among this ecosystem of institutions, you will find that you can be much more effective if you are able to enlist them as allies, as partners, and to rely on them for information and assistance, and that very little of what you have to do for investors can be done completely on your own. So it's important to appreciate from the beginning that this is, in a way, a team effort, and that you have to work from the beginning at building that team and strengthening that team. The fourth overarching theme that will keep coming back is sector knowledge, sector focus. When I say sector, I'm talking about a particular industry: electronics, automobile assembly, software development, business process outsourcing. So these are sectors. Each one of these sectors operates in a very different environment. It has a different value chain. It has different suppliers, different markets, and the global trends for investment in each of these sectors is different. FDI may be very concentrated in a few regions globally for some sectors. It might be very diffuse for others. In each sector, you might be motivated by a different factor, the presence of a natural resource versus a labor pool that has just the right combination of skills and low wages. So to successfully attract a company that operates in any of these, you must really come to understand the thinking of the executives that make the decisions about where to invest and why they're going there and what they hope to achieve. So that sector knowledge is something that needs to be developed over time. Very few investment promotion agencies have the wherewithal to go out and recruit people that have been in these sectors for a long time for the express purpose of attracting investment in those sectors. But the good news is you don't really have to. I've seen many good investment promoters start at an agency with no knowledge of that sector. But they go out and they meet with companies that are already in their country, in their state, in their city, and they learn from them. And over the course of a few months, a couple of years, you will find that if you really focus on a sector, you will come to know it very well, and that's all you need. But it needs to be a deliberate effort. And so throughout this course, I'll keep talking about sector experience and the need to develop it, and pointing out different ways that you can do it as we look at the various functions of investment promotion. And the fifth overarching theme would be internal systems. It's not rocket science, investment promotion. It's easy, really. If you know how to go about it the right way, you'll find that you become very smooth at it and very effective before very long. But there are a lot of simple things that you have to remember to do, and you have to be consistent as an individual, among a team, within an institution, in your interactions with investors, in your interactions with partners, and to maintain that consistency, to build knowledge and not lose it, not have cases fall between the cracks. There are a lot of systems that need to be maintained to maintain customer relations, to build information, to disseminate information, to communicate with other parties. So building those systems, understanding their goals, what goes into them, and effectively executing them is a very important element of investment promotion. So I would call that the fifth theme that will keep coming back throughout this training. And with that being said, again, congratulations on starting this course, and I hope we'll make it very interesting, and I hope you'll find a lot of useful lessons that you can apply in your work starting today. So thanks very much.